at you. You have them on. You have them on. Why do I sound too low, bro? Oh, my God. Oh, I really fucked up, bro. Maybe next week. My volume's down. Maybe next week. I gotta turn the volume up. There we go. Maybe next week you should just put the headphones back off.
Turn my headphones volume down. Like just mine.
Turn it down?
Yeah, mine. Does it affect yours too?
No, just you.
Yeah.
Are you good there? All the way?
Yeah.
Are you a little up?
Yeah, right there.
There, look at that. Technical difficulties.
I don't want.
The sound is out. Welcome to the All Day Everyday Show. We are here with All Day AJ and Manny Ruffin. Glad you guys are stopping in. I know you missed us last week, taking care of some business as per usual. As Pat McAfee would say, welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, this guy wanted to stand up.
I did really want to stand up. I don't know how it could work because you guys couldn't see me, but I could do this like he does. I don't know. I kind of like that. We're not in like a stage
Don't
setting
want
like
to
he
bend
does.
down like you're trying.
I know.
They could try to suck your.
But we don't.
in here.
Yeah, 100%. I want like a desk like
like
up
this
here,
and shit.
standing desk where I can do what I want. Whatever. Be nice to us. Do all those good things. Like, comment, and subscribe. And for our audio viewers as well, our audio listeners, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, help us out on there with those ratings. Huge show today. It is Super Bowl week. You will be listening and watching to us on Friday before the big game as the Philadelphia Eagles, Manny's Philadelphia Eagles, take on Patrick Mahomes, arguably the MVP, which we are about to see in 45 minutes. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. As well as, my goodness, LeBron James, we get to talk about the GOAT. I am tired of hearing any Michael Jordan things from now on moving forward. LeBron James breaking the record. We all know about that. And if you guys did not see that live, you are losers because you will never, ever see that happen again. And then, of course, we also have to talk about, we can't miss out on this, NBA trade deadline never disappoints. And boy, this one was a doozy. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. God. Josh Hart gets to reunite. I got to do a little Knicks plug there. Josh Hart gets to reunite with former Villanova teammate Jalen Brunson. Huge show, jam-packed show. Let's get it popping. Got to start on some quick things here. As we're talking about the MVPs, we know Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back years, and that's where I want to start. So I was watching Pat's show 2 days ago, and I don't know why I wasn't an adamant watcher and listener of Pat, because I fucking love it. I mean,
it's a good ass show,
it's
bro.
just like-
I talk about it a lot on here.
I don't know why and also, before we do that, big plug to Stateside. Not sponsored yet, but it's coming. Stateside Orange Vodka Soda, 4.5% alcohol and 95 calories. Get on it. Also, I just like the whole, there's no censorship at all. Well, why would you want to watch any other fucking show? But anyway, they were talking on Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. He's going on this fucking retreat. 4 days in complete darkness. There is a bathroom, but you can wear adult diapers if you want. And then there's a slot where they put food in. It's like jail. And he's there by himself. Food, like he gets food. I don't know. Is it like awful food? You can't even see what you're eating. How do you see how you're trying to walk to the bathroom? And then on top of that, it's just complete darkness and you're by yourself for 4 days.
Is he able to take ayahuasca?
I think he mentioned something. He said it's kind of like he's not bringing anything in there. They asked him
like a full on dopamine detox.
Exactly right. And they were like, you bringing weed? And he's like, no. And he said it's kind of like a DMT type of like hypnosis type thing. And I'm like, I physically could maybe not last 30 minutes. Just think about that. Like you're boarding up the walls. It's complete darkness. What are you going to do all day for 4 days? Just sit there? I can't even imagine.
I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know, these guys are all sickos in their own, to be that good at a sport, you got to be pretty sick in your own right. Like Aaron Rodgers, ayahuasca trip, whatever, locking himself up, adult diapers, whatever, prison food. We got Tom Brady literally posting OnlyFans, underwear pictures. Not saying that's what Tom Brady would do if he wasn't playing football. Not saying that's what Aaron Rodgers would do if he wasn't playing football. But these guys are just sickos. They're just not normal human beings is what I'm peeping, bro.
Oh, I forgot that.
No, that Brady shit was different. What the fuck? I was like, he needs his wife back. Dude. But I just think these guys just have, I don't know. I think there's a little bit of Gronkowski's effect too. He tagged him in that.
I was so shook on that, and people were quote tweeting that and everything.
I mean, that was a little different.
And on that note, on Tom Brady, by the way,
his young shorties was probably endorsing that.
Yeah, and he's like, I love how he does like the plug for Brady Brand too.
He's like, should I post it? She's like, yeah, go post it.
And then like obviously he's got his like hand over his dick and shit. Like, come on, bro. Like
Oh my god. Oh my.
thirst trap. And on that, like Tom Brady note, like he had already said, he's kicking Greg. It's most likely going to be kicking Greg Olsen out of the booth, and he's going to be with Burkhardt next season for the next 10 years, making
Kicking
more
Greg
money
Olsen
doing.
out the booth is crazy.
And he, you know what?
Kicking Greg Olsen out the booth is absolutely.
I think I saw a tweet.
That hurts me. Just like getting Aqib Talib getting the boot hurt, but like Greg Olsen's probably like a couple steps below the Aqib Talib. Like they should make Aqib Talib and Greg Olsen like the misfit. Like put them on like.
Yeah, but who can be like the play caller? Like they're both color guys.
Bro, Greg is a talented motherfucker.
That's true. He could do it.
One of the best tight ends to ever live. He can figure out how to fucking call a game.
Yeah.
Aqib Talib was up there breaking down cover 4. No one's ever done that.
Right.
They can figure it out.
We were
They
going.
can figure it the fuck out.
Well, I saw a tweet and apparently they were saying that like Greg allegedly had said that he wanted, before Brady announced that he was retiring, Greg allegedly had said that he didn't want Brady to come back because he was like, I want to spend another year in the booth.
Damn.
And then
So he knew he was about to get his shit booted.
because he signed
That's
with Fox.
fucked.
He signed, like Brady had already signed with Fox.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
So like he was going to Fox booth anyway.
Wait, so could Greg take Sean Payton's spot?
He'll probably be, he might be in the Fox NFL Sunday kickoff now.
That's what Sean Payton was on, right?
Yeah, but he was only doing that like he would only come like certain weeks. He might do the show before that. Like I think Vic's on that show, Charles Woodson's on that show. It's like the 10 to the 11 to 12 show or the 10 to,
Fucked.
and then on the note of broadcasting actually brings up a good point. Tony Romo, did you see the stuff on that? Apparently, like they had an intervention, quote unquote.
I saw that shit.
And said
why, bro? Who? I don't think there's anything wrong with how Tony Romo calls the game.
I don't think so either.
I very much enjoyed Tony Romo. I don't know because I think they're saying that he talks about the star player too much or something. I mean,
So then get on Chris Collinsworth then.
but
Who cares?
I mean, I guess he is the color commentator. That is correct. I was gonna say there's 2 people there, but that is his job. I see what they're saying, but I don't think it was that much of a big deal for them to go like public, like intervention, like.
And then
Bro,
you gotta make it public.
You're
Yeah.
giving him a critique on his job. That's like if I was like fucking up the clips or something, and it was like came out like we had an intervention today. Like I told Manny stop making the caption so big. Like, bro, what the fuck? That's just not that big of a deal.
Yeah, right.
At least I don't think
No,
so.
100%,
They could have told that shit like at a regular morning Zoom meeting, like
Right,
done.
but then you got like the intervention. You're right on that. And then I don't know. Like, don't you want a quarterback? Don't you want a quarterback as the color guy, the guy that has seen the plays on the field?
I think like because what I had thought when I watched Tony Romo, I'm like, this is really good for someone who doesn't really understand football, and like I also think like not in a bad way, but people that just aren't like heavy into the just X's and O's and everything going on, because he's gonna really talk about like the people that you really know and like the plays that like really matter in a really simple way. But he makes it cool, fun, and it's Tony Romo. Like I thought that was the shit about it. I guess that's what's the problem. I'm mistaken. That's why I don't work at CBS. You know what I mean? That's why I'm here in the basement. I guess.
100%.
I thought that shit. I like to keep to leave. Gone. I like Greg Olsen. Gone. I like Tony Romo. Intervention. I'm gonna stay on this couch and keep doing this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm bad.
But remember when Tony first started? And look at that, isn't that kind of funny there?
Everyone was on his meat when he first started.
That's what I was just saying. So
Everyone's
now
on
I'm
his
thinking, like, are we gonna see the same shit from Tom Brady?
Probably. I mean,
And then we like, if he's not doing a good job, it's like, oh, well, he better get back to football then.
they build all these people up to hate him, man.
I don't get it. I'm a fan of Tony. I like him in the booth, and I wouldn't want him with anyone else other than Jim Nantz, and that's fact.
Yo, you didn't forget that one topic, right? About that dude with the really long nose
No,
that talks on FS1.
I did.
Don't forget about that.
All right, let me
Don't forget about that guy.
Is it in is it in the messages?
Don't forget about that guy.
Let me scroll up so I have it.
I mean, we could just get into it real quick.
Yeah, do you, like go ahead.
It was just the
I'm
shit
lost,
about
bro.
when Nick Wright was talking about how like Jalen Hurts like he was like more surprised Jalen Hurts was in the conversation or something, and then Chris Collinsworth said some crazy shit, something along the lines of that. I forget exactly what.
Well,
it
do you see the one on that note there? Do you speaking one of Chris Sims with John Clark, where he's like Jalen Hurts has had one of the easiest jobs of playing quarterback in the NFL. He said that to John Clark on Radio Row. By the way,
I thoroughly enjoy, right? Because like It's so okay that the 49ers are, I'm going to use your pop's term, they're tap dancing after they fucking lose. They can talk about how it's such a shame they can't use a third string. Listen to what they're crying about. It's such a shame we cannot use a third string QB. I'm reading that syntax correct. That's what they were saying, right? I'm reading that correct. That's what they were complaining about, not being able to use a third string QB. That's like blasphemy to me. Just, you could even say that as a professional football player and be like, I'm making a valid excuse right now. And then when we win the game with a quarterback that we drafted in the second round very early, to my own critique, I thought had to prove himself this year as much as everyone else did, went 14 to 15 to 16 and 1. And we just want to talk about how he had to, like, can we just give the guy a tip of the cap one time? What does he have to do? I actually want to know what the guy has to do to get a tip of the cap. Not everyone can be Pat Mahomes. Not everybody can be Justin Herbert. There's a lot, like Eli Manning is a very good example. I'm not comparing Eli Manning to Jalen Hurts, but like besides some of the miraculous throws that Eli Manning has made in those big games, there hasn't been that many plays that he's made in that many like statistical seasons besides a few where it's been like, oh my God, Eli Manning jumps off the page. I'm pretty sure he's had like 2 seasons where he's like made some runs and stuff like that. But besides, like numbers wise, besides that, they haven't been ridiculous. It's been very consistent and he's won a lot of football games. It's not sexy. It gets you paid. It keeps you on the team for a long time. And guess what? A lot of people love the fuck out of Eli Manning, including myself, and he was a rival quarterback. So he had to be doing something correct. Can we hop off the man's nuts?
No, yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. I just think it's ridiculous, bro.
Say it. And let me just piss you off a little bit more. I got a couple more quotes here. Colin Cowherd saying to Nick Wright, if Mac Jones is the Niners quarterback, they beat Philadelphia. And Nick had said, oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's what it was. That's just... but like that's so hypothetical. I hate that. You're proving the point that you're trying to say anything to discredit the Eagles. Like, oh, they would have had this right now mediocre guy because he's 24. They would have lost. Like,
how can Mac's season be justified?
But who knows, bro? Like, who knows? Jimmy G beat a lot of teams. Jimmy G beat Aaron Rodgers twice. Like, so could Mac Jones beat the Eagles? Sure. Could Brock Purdy have beat the Eagles? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows, bro? It's just the stuff you guys are talking about to try to undermine what the fuck the Eagles are doing. Not losing a lot of football games and winning them and making you guys look stupid. So we're trying to find any excuse. It's the Twitch chat shit. Copium. That's what they're doing. It's all copium, bro. And I'm fucking loving it all. Because it makes it even obvious. There's been a few people that have like backtracked because there's nothing wrong with backtracking a take, right? Like I've done it plenty of times. You've done it plenty of times. People are literally praising Joy Taylor right now for like, I think she said it like after or even a couple weeks. It wasn't even that long. She just criticized Jalen Hurts earlier on and then said she was wrong or said he was playing well later. And people are saying something we say like, oh my God, look at Joy Taylor. It's like, it's not that hard. It's just being an honest person. It's cool. If you were wrong, you were wrong, bro. I don't know.
How about Media Week?
You gotta get people to watch the show though, so I can't.
I guess so. How about Media Week this week though? Jalen Hurts was on the podium getting some reporters asking him a bunch of questions. One of the reporters publicly apologizes to him face to face, saying that, sorry that I didn't think that you were going to be the guy that could get this job done. And he said a lot of people didn't think that. Yeah. And then he was like, but what I'm saying is, I apologize. I'm sorry for saying that. You know what Jalen Hurts said? Cool.
It's cool, bro.
Cool. That's it. Cool.
That's what I would say.
And he smiled. Cool.
I've heard that shit plenty of times.
Cool.
Was that at the media day shit?
Literally, like a reporter said that when he was on the podium.
See,
fucking hilarious.
God, what is his name, bro? Why am I blanking on the camera? This is so bad.
How about let me give you a break?
The dude that bro, it's our boy. He fucking Kyle. You see Kyle with Sal Pal? That shit was so fucking funny, bro. He said, "Yo, Sal Pal." That shit, Sal Pal.
Yeah, because Kyle's there. How about he asked Howie.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How does it feel to get fleeced? To fleecing.
How should kept it a buck?
I think that was a great question too.
It was.
He said, how does it feel to fleece every GM in the NFL?
Howie didn't want to keep it a buck. I wish he would have answered it truthfully.
That would have been the Philly way, to be fair. Let's go to Brandon Ayuk here. If I were going to bet on this game, I would take everything I own, get it in cash, and put money on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Cheers, bro. Like, this is the definition of action. This is what your pop meant by tap dancing. This is what I'm witnessing. How? We're like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks past the ass beating. Understand people got hurt. If you could have blocked a little bit better, maybe he wouldn't have got hurt. That's the nature of football, man. We weren't crying and asking for. I mean, we won a chip without Carson. But even when Carson went down again, and we had to play with Nick Foles next season, we weren't crying about it. It is what it is, bro. It's football. Move on. That shit is like, and the people that are saying, like, because I'm not going to take credit for this take, but the people that are saying that this is why they keep losing an NFC Championship game because they have this mentality, like they keep just blaming it on shit. It's like, yeah, facts. Like this is, obviously some of these people are new. Like CMC's new. Brandon Ayuk's a young guy, but it's like, bro, these are just not attitudes you want on a winning team. Like, you're blaming it on a third string QB. You're blaming it on this and that. Now you're saying bet the house on the other team to beat the Eagles just because they beat their ass. Like, bro, move on. Like, fuck them. I was cool with the 49ers, but now I'm like, fuck them.
Yeah, and on the coaching side of things, D'Amico Ryans, we did see that last week. Sean Payton, we did see that last week. Was pretty funny to see when he was asked about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, bro, that shit ain't flying.
Like with the private coaches or whatever, private staff. He's like, I that's not happening.
Yeah, that was some new coach type shit he was getting away with. Russ knew who he was. He knew he could get away with. Now we got Sean Payton coming in.
Yeah, good way to handle it. He kind of shrugged it off. And then the one that you hadn't hated a lot was Kellen Moore and the Cowboys parting ways. I truly wish and hope that he finds a head coaching job somewhere. I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing, Dallas? I think that was the wrong move there.
Yeah, it's just the Dallas way, man. I don't know. Like, also, like, Kellen Moore. I mean, no, Kellen Moore has assembled really good offenses. I think he'll be fine. I don't know. I can't. It makes me happy. So that's pretty much all the insight you kind of need on the move. Not having to deal with the Kellen Moore offense. And I do wish him the best, but I don't really know much about what the Cowboys are doing over there anyway. At any point, I mean, these guys think they're good. These guys think their head coach is not the issue. They think the OC is the issue. It was mutual or something like that. I don't know. Fuck those guys. They're really dumb. If you ask me, I would have done anything in our power to keep Kellen Moore. I don't know.
Damn straight. More quick headlines as well.
That's crazy to me.
Last night, we were able to see a clip from the Dallas Stars game where...
Oh, my God.
What was it? Fuck around and find out? What's that quote? I think that's what it is. Fuck around and find out. I don't know.
Yeah, all I know. I mean, the dude deserved what had it coming to him, but like,
what are we doing?
His shorty came in like guns blazing.
What are we doing?
Right, left, hook. She was trying to... All I'm saying, I don't like, bro, it is what it is. Don't be an idiot, and I mean, just don't say something that's gonna get you punched in the face, but... Get you a shorty that's gonna come in and try to rock somebody.
How about a good segue?
She came in trying to kill somebody.
How about a good segue from Dallas losing Kellen, and then we go more Dallas stupid shit? I mean, is this just a Dallas way? I feel like an idiot for saying that, but maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not thorough men, but really thorough females. I see. She came in with force. She thought
out
she
of
was
here.
Floyd.
What are we doing?
Nah, he deserved that shit though.
All right, quick headlines have finally concluded. LeBron James. Again, I have to say it again. If you did not watch this live, I truly feel bad for you. And don't be those jackasses. Don't be those jackasses that sit there and say, well, I can watch it on SportsCenter the next morning. Not the same. Not the same. You wouldn't have done it for Tom Brady. Damn straight. Breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. All-time scoring 38, 388. And how about those beats, by the way? That was fire. Those were sick. I feel like, people are going to say this and that about the celebration and how maybe he should have done it with his team and he made it all about himself. I disagree with all of that. You just broke a record that had been standing for 39 years. Can we not throw the flowers when they are needed, when they are due, for Christ's sake? I mean, the face of this league, we're never going to forget about this man and what he's done and his legacy. Why can we not give him the respect he deserves for putting all into this game and then breaking the record? I thought it was super cool. Look, I had people telling me all this week, blowing up my phone, friends, family, that was too much. I was ready to turn off the rest of the game. I didn't need to see all the celebration. Why not? It's a big moment. I don't understand. Like, am I just stupid for not... Like, I was sitting back, I had my hands above my head, just smiling, watching all of it. Hugging Magic, Jay-Z's there, Denzel Washington's there, the family's there. Bronny and Bryce are sitting right under the hoop that he fucking put the basket on. Come on. Couldn't have been more perfect. What I will say, though, is I really did think he was going to put up 25 in that game. So then tonight, we're recording on a Thursday night, he playing the Bucks tonight, where Kareem was originally drafted to. That would have been more storybook, right? And LeBron's a showman. Like, that would have been great. But all the pregame stuff, Shaq's like, if he needs 36, Jamal Crawford's like, if he needs 36, he's going to get 36. He's not leaving the building without 36. 16 third quarter points, breaks the record. And this is a man also that at 38 years of age is putting up 36 points in 3 quarters of basketball at 38 and breaking the record. So everyone, you could say this and that about breaking the record and it was too much, but he dropped 36 in 3 quarters himself at 38. So I don't want to fucking hear it. And I'm curious to hear, I don't know where your head point is, because you might be, we're both on the same page with LeBron being the GOAT. You obviously are way more into this than I am, but I hope you're not going the side where I think you're going.
No, I thought the celebrations, if you hate on celebrations, I think you're almost like a sad human being.
Bro, he had to talk. People were bitching that he was like talking.
Nah.
He had to say something. What do you mean?
Nah, bro. I can't hate on the celly. All I was gonna say that I thought was gonna surprise you was it just didn't move me that much. Like, I watched it live and shit. I just saw the ball go in the hoop, step back. It was a great bucket, and I was just like, yeah, like I just feel like that was one of the records, like something like that. He's been walking down Kareem for so long. Like, you kind of knew he was gonna pass Kareem when he got to like the top 10, and he was still like saying I have runway, and like when he said I wasn't gonna retire and all that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, it felt like one of those things where everyone like in the stadium was like had their phones out, and he made a shot, and it was like, oh, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like,
hey, how about an atmosphere
lit.
though?
Like, that shit is lit, but I wasn't that hyped. But I thought the celebrations and shit, like his kids come out, Kareem passing the ball, like passing the. I thought that was cool as fuck. I don't know.
People said that was too much.
I think if you hate on celebrations, you might be a sad human. But I just think like I thought what surprised me personally was like seeing like one of my favorite players of all time and just him break the record that moment, and I was just kind of like, cool. Like, I think it might go to show how fucking goated LeBron is. Like, it's just like, yeah, I knew he was gonna do that. Like, that was just checking one off the list. Like, we can just start saying that now. Like, short thing. Like, that's kind of how it felt, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the torch passing was super cool. I don't know why we hate on that.
That's crazy. Hating on the celebration, in my opinion, is crazy. Unless you like start doing some like weird shit, like taking your shirt off if it's not soccer or something. But besides that, bro, I don't know.
And he was mic'd up that night. We got to see him talking with Bryce and Bronny, like heading into the second half, saying, I got to go 8-8. And then like both of them were like, go all in, go get it. And that's exactly what he did. Not too much on that. Just had to highlight it. Super cool.
That is really. I didn't know people were really hating on that like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I read an article today. I think it was like 95.7 The Fan or something, saying that it was one of the many things that I saw this week. Just bitching about it. Oh, he made it about himself. This was all me.
It was kind of long. That's why when you texted me that Oklahoma City moneyline thing, I was like, I would have taken that. I was thinking about it. When I was watching that, I was like, if I was betting this, I would take OKC live right now because this is going long, and I know everyone on the bench does not care that much. Like,
can we highlight?
AD. Like, I was like, I know everyone on the bench, like, they care, but not that much to be sitting down for 20 minutes.
Can we highlight fucking Anthony Davis? What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is that something that like maybe he wanted to be on the floor for it and he got pulled right after that? Like,
that's weird, bro. I mean, I don't put too much like pros and shit and like hooper, like, I don't know, a lot of like these professional really good hoopers like have diva tendencies deep down. Like, it is what it is. Like, you just gotta be, I don't know, it is what it is. I mean, not all of them, but some of them do. Like, we've seen it time and time again. So it wasn't something that like really took me by, but I was just kind of like, damn, like, I think no matter what happens, your teammate accomplishes something. Like, no matter what the record is, no matter how small or large it is, that's your teammate. He broke a record. Like, that's just fucking, that's fire. That's what I think. Like, I don't know. You watch this motherfucker do it for, how long have they been teammates? 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Like, that shit was weird to me. Anytime I had a teammate accomplish anything, I thought that shit was pretty dope.
And like, right as it happened, he literally sat right down on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, you're just weird, bro. You're weird.
I don't know. I can't say what he would. If he was going through something at the time, I don't know. But I can't. There's not much of an excuse I could give him besides that.
Be a teammate.
No bullshit.
All right. NBA trade deadline does not disappoint. It just never does. This one might be a little bit crazier than ever. Obviously, today and last night were crazy. Got to start with Kyrie to the Mavs. He debuted last night. Said in the post-game presser afterwards that it was a long couple days, 90 hours, I believe he had said it was. I just had to get it over with. And then actually, drops 24. Good game there, and he gave the jersey to Floyd Mayweather. Pretty cool stuff there. What I did really like, and for all the Kyrie fans and the Kyrie haters, more importantly, is he was walking with fans in the parking lot after the game, signing jerseys, taking pictures. Think that's a nice welcoming from Kyrie. Will we see that again? Probably not. Had to start there, and obviously, I just, on that note there, quick note there, I just don't think we're going to see Luka 50 bombs anymore with Kyrie being there. Is that dumb to say?
Had brain damage. KD was still going nuclear when all three of them were there, by the way.
I don't know, man.
I think it was crazy when people were saying that like this trade, like it wasn't like this wasn't moving. There was a lot of people I saw on Twitter that said like this wasn't moving them or something like that. I don't know if you caught wind of that, but I saw a lot of people saying this is like wasn't gonna.
Why?
I have no, like NBA Twitter is a funny place, bro. Like I don't think anything moves NBA Twitter, so I probably should just stop reading into that shit. But I'm just like, why are people saying that this trade is not moving them? It is Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic.
Right.
Like this is actually OP. It's Luka and Spencer Dinwiddie, but Spencer Dinwiddie just got 10 times better overnight. Like we did lose DFS. Like Dorian Finney-Smith is huge. Like because I think one thing that's so good about the Mavs is like the fact that they could play Luka ball and they could have Dinwiddie do it too, and then they had straps on defense, absolute straps, and a lot of that started with DFS because he could guard 1 through 5, had stream like that 6'7", and could knock down a 3-point shot. But I mean, Kyrie makes up for a lot of deficiencies the team has. So I just think if you said that the trade doesn't move you, I'd like to see what you think come into the season. And the West playoffs are going to be fucking insane. We'll get into it.
100%. And the big part there is as we carry over into this KD trade, I did see today, I think it was ESPN Instagram or SportsCenter Instagram, they were clowning Ja because what he had said.
Yeah.
He's like, I can take on the West myself, or whatever. And then the West just went nuclear.
What did he say? He said the West. He said, I'm not worried about the West or something.
Yeah. And then like some shit about, whatever the fuck he said. And then now like the West literally is nuclear now, and now it's going to be a problem.
I hope people don't look too deep into that.
No.
Do what CJ McCollum did and just laugh at that shit. Because I thought like that's what you should say if you get put in the spot like that. Like, fuck it. This is my conference. Like,
right. So over to the Suns acquiring Kevin Durant, massive deal. And on the note, just real quick on Kyrie, he did say, he's happy for him. But he, at the end of the press conference, he literally was like, happy he got out of there. Like, damn, all right, so Kyrie threw one last little dig in there. He got one more in there. Happy he got out of there. Kevin Durant going to the Suns. Suns are sending Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Jay Crowder, and 4 first-round picks. I do have to go, I got to give some credit and, gratitude for Mikal Bridges. He did fit very well in Phoenix. He had a lot of fun over there. And Cam. And to see them go, I feel bad for you because you guys are, right now, it looks like...
2 PA boys, literally shipped off.
Right now, it does look like you're going into a dumpster fire, but the Nets are in a relatively good spot for rebuilding in the future.
It's cool. We got two PA boys one step closer to home.
Hey, no, yeah.
One 3-team trade away. Nah, but supposedly Mikal's probably, I think the Grizzlies are trying to get him. I mean, everyone's trying to get Mikal.
Right.
That shit is ass. I do agree with the Suns going to get KD. I'm pretty sure they were talking before anyway, but you kind of just peep, we were up 2-0 in the finals, lost, got our ass beat by the Mavs. We're gonna have to upgrade here. There's just no chance we're gonna keep going with this roster right here, and we're just gonna keep trying to how teams get caught in that loop. They were definitely really close to getting caught in that loop, and you got A.N., you got D-Book there, 2 young guys, a lot of money. You got to go. And CP's getting older. I fuck with it. And get these guys out of my conference, our conference. Bye. You guys, one team obsolete. Cool. No more. It's Ben Simmons' team. Perfect. Don't got to worry about the Nets no more.
Oh, I got to talk about
They'll be good, though.
Nets.
You don't got to worry about them.
Ben Simmons. I do want to say this. Suns get a new owner. 12 hours later, gets KD.
Yep.
How about that? Right to damn business. At the exact time that you needed to, because the deadline's now up. And, just wild. A huge credit there. You just come in, that much power. I'm in at 11 a.m., 12 hours later, 11 p.m.
We need fucking KD.
And we got him.
That was the first briefing, probably.
Yep.
All right, he probably came in
I myself am going at KD.
He was everyone coming right now. They walked in, all it was a picture of KD.
Yep.
What can we do?
The crime
you see,
scenes.
I'm about to say, you see little pictures of Cam Johnson, Mikal, campaigns there, D-Book's even there. All right,
thumbtacks.
Yes, I'm saying this shit's going. How do we get KD? I fuck with that.
Like a murder scene.
I like that.
And then, even though, for these guys going to the Nets, it does kind of look like it is going to be a dumpster fire in a way. But they are set up for success in the future. Lineup has some depth.
That team's decent. That team's probably going to make the play-in.
They have some depth.
That team can make the play-in.
I do have to say shit on Ben Simmons because I thought it's so funny. Oh, Ben Simmons, I want to get out of Philly. I'm going to do whatever I can to get my ass out of Philly. Gets out of there, barely plays. The big three I saw today, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant played a total of 16 games together. That's it. Ben Simmons gets his wish, he gets out, and now everybody's going, oh, where'd you guys go? Where'd you guys go? Now it's just me? Loser.
Well,
Loser.
I mean, it's always the easy way till it's easy. He didn't want to show up to practice. He didn't want to show up to games. He said he was going to take the fines, thought he could finesse the fines. Tried to choose a team he could go to, went to the Nets because he thought this was a good deal. Then that's gone. Like, sometimes the easy way ain't always the easy way, Mr. Simo the Savage. But, hey, go be a Savage. It's your team now. It's Cam Thomas's team now. Excuse me. My fault, Cam. But you can be maybe the biggest name there for now, Mr. Ben Simmons. And, I mean, I think the Nets will be fine. I think they could be a play-in team. They'll give people trouble. They could be a play-in team. I think they'll give people trouble. They have a lot of defenders, some shooters. Like, I mean, if they get coached up well, they could do something.
And more on some trade stuff. I want to touch on the Sixers here.
Yeah, they can't do shit with those guys.
The early leans now, the odds for NBA championship, Celtics are 350, I believe last I saw, and then Suns at 600. Before the trade, Suns were 1900.
Celtics are not winning the NBA championship, bro.
I really thought that getting KD, they would get Suns as the favorite. Kind of confused there.
Nah, I mean, new team. I mean, the Celtics. I mean, number one in the East again.
On paper, though,
they look just as good again, and they're probably gonna make the finals again. But I'm just a Celtics hater. But what were the Sixers?
I was gonna go to the Sixers here with Trailblazers getting 76ers, Matisse Thybulle, all per Adrian Wojnarowski, the GOAT of NBA ESPN here. Trailblazers getting Matisse Thybulle as part of a 3-way deal with the Charlotte Hornets. And then the Sixers are getting Jalen McDaniels in that deal as well. Matisse, huge defender for the 76ers. Curious on if we're a little bit disappointed that, saying bye to a good defender like that, but happy to see McDaniels. Is that where we are, kind of?
Not even sad. Like, go ahead. Like,
interesting.
I mean, bro, if you're that good, if you come in the league as that good of a defender, and like literally all you have to do is develop a 30% 3-point jump shot, and you can't do it, like, see it, bro. Like, it's the NBA. Like, you can't just be a wing, and you can't just great defender, like literally all world, all time talent defender. But like, okay, we can just pick up Jalen McDaniels, who has like a 6'10" wingspan, can defend probably like a tier below as good. Rebound very well and knock down the three. I think he shot 32% this year. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
That's perfectly fine because, I mean, we have a good defensive team with or without Matisse Thybulle. He's just a great tool, a tool that every team would love to have. But, I mean, come the offs, if we can just leave you alone because you're going to shoot in the 20s and the teens from the three when it matters, like, what much do you really like? What use are you? I mean, he was getting no tick. He's unplayable. That's
what I was going to say. He really wasn't getting that much time. And for a team that's as good as them, I'm sure part of it was I'm probably going to get more playing time now.
Yeah. Nah, it's good for him because he can play now. But, like, it's just like, you know what I mean? When you're on a top-tier team and from the rip, it was like he was actually untradeable for a very long time. And it was like, we're going to invest in you. All you have to do is pretty much develop your offensive game. And it doesn't happen. The writing was on the wall for a while. It is what it is. Fuck with Matisse, though. One of my favorite people that played for the Sixers, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. You got to go. I just want to run through some quick ones here as well. Bones Highland leaving Denver and headed to the Clippers. Unique move there. I think it does save a little bit of money. Clippers are going to get a 24 and a 25 second-round picks. I just was a little bit shocked on that one. James Wiseman leaving the Warriors and headed to the Pistons for Sadiq Bey.
Cap dump.
Exactly right. And I don't know. I kind of expected him to develop more in Golden State. Didn't really see that a lot this year. I think they kind of had quit on him towards the really early part of the season. And, now you got to go to another dumpster fire and fucking.
I think Bones might be like that team is deep over there.
I know that's a good move.
That is all I'll say. That team
team
gets deeper. I don't know how I look at that team before the season. You're like, this team's extremely deep, and they're just getting deeper. They get rid of Luke Kennard though, right?
Yeah, Luke Kennard. Just look at you. You're right on me here. Luke Kennard to the Grizzlies from the Clippers. Clippers are sending... the Grizzlies are sending 3 second-round picks to the Clippers there. There's a lot of picks moving around here, so curious to see how these will kind of... in all of this deadline here. And I'm not just saying that, obviously that happens. I'm saying that, just we're seeing a lot of unprotected, we're seeing a lot of lightly protected, and just all around the quantity of picks that are moving around. We're not just saying, for example, like a first and a third. We're seeing 3, we're seeing 4, all getting dished out for 1 or 2 players. And then just a funny one here. Patrick Beverley just having the time of his life in LA, doing the podcast with Roan over at Barstool, and then they just give him the boot, and they say, head your ass down to Orlando and play for the Magic now.
That's fine. That's fine for him. That's fine for business. Not much of a lifestyle change, except for the fact that you're not going to play with LeBron James no more. But, I mean, hey, the team's not that much worse if you think about it.
No, that's right.
So, hey.
And then
Pat Bev's all right. He's always going to be cool.
Sticking with the Magic, Lakers getting Mo Bamba. I love the graphics, too, that these goddamn ESPN wants
always
to do.
add the graphic like this guy's about to change the
Do you see that? They're like, the Lakers are adding another big man, like Shaquille O'Neal next to him. And they're like, what can he do?
Good potential, though.
I just don't get it. I just running out.
Just kept investing in the young guys that were there when LeBron first got there. They keep grabbing young talent to put them over the top. So, I mean, I don't know. Blazers
sending Gary Payton to the Warriors for 5 second-round picks. You see, this goes right to my point here. So Gary Payton back. A lot of Warrior fans very, very happy about that.
Yeah, that's a good move.
And then Kevin Knox gets his ass out of Detroit. Not too much that we really want to touch on these lower tier ones, but a lot of money was saved for some of these teams in our NBA trade deadline. Big stuff there. Obviously, the big moves there. We're seeing Kevin Durant leaving. We're seeing Kyrie Irving. I do want to give some respect where some respect is due, and that is out of the big 3 from James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, James Harden making the right move. He got out when he needed to, and now look, he's already set. He's establishing a new team. He's having more fun in a new team. The team is better. They're more successful. He did it right. That's it.
Thank God for Ben Simmons.
You know what? Damn straight.
And pretty soon we get a new coach here that gets us over the hump. Like, because this season's going to make everyone realize in that front office that Doc has to go. Thank God for Doc Rivers, because then in 2024 we won the chip. You know what I mean? It was all part of the plan. Trust the process, baby. It's been a long process, 10 years, but hey, I've been here since day one.
And you say
all
trust
72
the process,
of those losses, baby.
You say trust the process and the plan about that. How about we start saying what all these NFL guys are saying? It's all part of the script.
Yeah, all part of the script, right? Because everyone's they're going to start tanking in the league now too.
Yeah. Heading right into football, before we get into the actual Super Bowl and I want to put out some scoring predictions. I want to put out some game predictions. Just want to real quick touch on the Pro Bowl. Tyler Huntley, what the fuck, dude? Like,
I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. I did not pay attention to anything that happened in the Pro Bowl weekend. I saw
him going.
I saw Josh Jacobs. I think he said this shit is stupid, right?
He did.
And
Derek Carr going.
I think that was, I don't know what day that was, but I was like on Twitter and I saw Josh Jacobs say that shit was stupid, and I was like, word, I'm not watching. Thanks, appreciate you. I saw, like, when I would go to the gym, I would see highlights, and I was like, oh, this was the shit they were doing.
I saw a little bit of the game.
Like,
I saw a little.
Wasn't it like a best of 3 or something? I saw game 1, game 2, game 3. Was it a best of 3? Was it 3 games?
Honestly, I don't really know. I was just watching.
That shit looked dumb as fuck.
I was just watching a flag football game.
I know, like, because I really fuck with watching, like, when I really fuck with the sport, I want to watch the All-Star game. I want to watch the Pro Bowl. I want to watch the home run derby, because the game and that shit's lit. But I just want to watch, like, my favorite players, just, like, you know what I'm saying, chilling and having a good time. That shit just looks so dumb. Like, I thought I would be legitimately torching and pissing on my time if I watched that shit.
Like,
I was like, what am I watching, bro?
I also pay attention to, like, the skills competitions because they're kind of cool. Like, I watched the NHL All-Star game last weekend.
That shit's dope.
I watched the skills competition at its entirety. I did not even know that the skills competition for the NFL
Bro, the hoops competition
Friday.
I didn't know either.
It was last Friday at 7. I wake up Saturday morning. I'm like Saturday morning, I'm like on my phone. I'm
morning.
Like, I missed it.
Morning.
Like, yeah. No. It was Friday night.
Oh,
but I wake up Saturday morning and I'm like, what the fuck? I missed it.
They don't care for.
Like, I had no idea.
Nah, I know.
I wanted to see Saquon play dodgeball, just because.
I saw a clip from that. Like,
I wanted to see the gauntlet.
We're playing dodgeball, like shit, like that. Yeah. What are we? We like. I think a Pro Bowl. Why don't they do like 7-on-7? And then just lineman 1-on-1s. And we can get after the 7-on-7 if you want to do like wide receiver corner one-on-ones.
That'd be sick.
DB, and then we can do running back linebacker one-on-ones. Like listen, we practice this shit. If we can't play a game of Pro Bowl, we can very much so have these guys on display going full tilt, like with a lot of safety. Like whoever came up with that idea is brain damage at display. Like we could have literally just had a 7-on-7 and one-on-ones going on. And I think people would be cool with that. I don't know. Like I said, that's why we sit in the basement. I'm going to continue to sit in the basement and do a podcast.
Damn fucking straight,
Fuck
baby. Damn fucking straight. And then we have NBA All-Star Weekend, which Jericho Sims did agree to the dunk contest.
Tough.
We'll see. I mean, that's probably my only nick that I can.
Jericho Sims in the dunk contest. Hopefully, we can do some cool shit.
I don't know, bro. Well, we saw Obi Toppin was in it last year.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they come out and they start doing some cool shit. That's what I mean. I don't know.
Everybody said we shouldn't have won last year. Besides the fucking point. To the big game, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally here, our last week of football. God, that season flew by. We are here, and the Eagles are fucking favorites in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. Really got to hone in here. Been loving the podcast from Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about this podcast because I was thinking about like, you know, how like I was going to compliment you for laying out the show this way because did you know that leaving like the most important part for the end is like good for the algorithm and shit?
100%, baby. You got to watch all the way through.
That shit's
Come
like,
on, bro.
yeah,
and if you are enjoying so
it's like
far.
It's like what you're supposed to do and shit. This guy's like a professional.
But they say we're not, bro. But they say we're not. And as we head to the big game, let us know in the comments what you are doing for the big game, watching with some family and friends, or maybe some of you lucky people are flying out to Arizona, maybe caught some waste management action as well. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit us up on Apple Podcasts as well. Okay, so big stuff. Radio Row, and I'm going to say this right now for those of you that do not know Radio Row, probably one of the best, sports media weeks of the year, Monday through Friday, leading up in media week, leading up to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to stamp it right now. This podcast one day will be at Radio Row doing what we do for that. And I just can't wait to be there.
It's a valid stamp.
It's just a valid stamp. And I have to say it. I've been just admiring that week and being able to be there all week and sit and do shows all day. And I don't know, man.
That's why you mean, that's why you're my guy. You stamp shit like that.
100%. And we're saying it right fucking to that camera right there. So you do not forget it. I can't wait to be there. Man, we're here. Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce were doing their podcast on Radio Row.
Did they have their parents on their podcast recently?
Mom was on there, yep.
What the fuck?
And then I saw a clip today. Swoop came in today and was trying to fuck with Travis. And Jason's like, can you pick him up and fly him far, far away for Sunday? And then the Eagles cheerleaders come in. And he's like, oh, and Travis is like, oh, hello, ladies. And he's like, so I guess we got the whole gang here. And he's like, let's hear the chant. Let's hear the chant. So then they're like, EAGLS, Eagles, Eagles. And he's like, suck.
I fuck with you.
So they're having some fun. It's obviously really cool for them, brothers, to be, being there at the Super Bowl. And what Travis had said after the AFC Championship win,
podcast is perfect.
Podcast is perfect, and he said, my mom can't lose.
Can't.
Right? So, but here we go. All right, so Eagles -1.5.
I can fucking lose.
I was speaking to Dawson, and he told me that when the Eagles opened up at 1, he loaded the fuck up on the Eagles.
Good cause.
So, interesting
I'm
stuff
confident, bro. I mean, I think, I don't know. I'm sure at this point, right? Like, we have to assume at this point in time that Patrick Mahomes is pretty much cool. High Uncle Sprain, we'll never know until the game starts, but I think, just in my mind, he's as close to 100%. That's the one thing that I had like last week. I'm like, if Patrick Mahomes is limping in any way, shape, or form, and the way this D-line is going to be coming after him, that's trouble number one already. I don't think they're going to be able to establish I don't think we'll be able to get their offense going in any type of way because, I mean, we can guard. I'm not saying, okay, we're not going to lock down Travis Kelce, but I believe we'll be able to stop Travis Kelce from doing like a 16, 15 target, 150 yards, 2 touchdown type deal. I think we'll be able to stop that. Hopefully Travis Kelce can go for like 970 and 1. I'll be cool with that. We probably win the game. I just don't think they have enough to if Patrick Mahomes, which is what I'm trying to say, Patrick Mahomes is going to have an all-time legacy game performance to beat the Eagles. And I could sit here and try to go over the whole defense and but everyone knows that for a fact. The only way the Eagles lose this game, in my opinion, is if Jalen Hurts either lays an egg, which we all know from how composed and poised he's been the whole season is absolutely not going to happen. Patrick Mahomes has to have a legacy game to where we all leave that motherfucker like we just watched the greatest of all time. Who's gonna have Pacheco can have like a dime in the rough 150 touchdown yard game. What's the probability of that happening versus the Eagles? Slim. What's the probability of Juju Smith-Schuster going for 110 and 3 touchdowns and getting MVP? Slim. So it's Trav legacy game or Pat legacy game. We're not throwing 2 pick sixes. We're not fumbling the ball in the end zone. It's just not happening, okay? If it happens, we can clip it and come back. It's going to take a Pat Mahomes legacy game. And I listen, if he does it to me, he does it to me. Lame ankle, legacy season for the Birds. That's what I'm saying. Hungry dogs run faster type shit. I don't think he got it, man. We can say the legacy game for next year when you healthy. You know what I'm saying?
There's a couple points like in this game that stand out to me. Number one, and you said it at the beginning of that, which was we saw Patrick Mahomes limping at the end of the game. There was a little bit more the AFC Championship game. At the end of the game, there was a little bit more of pass rush from Cincinnati. The limp was there. Now you factor in an Eagles defensive line that is going to be doing that for the entirety of the Super Bowl. So adjusting that and having to make that adjustment on that ankle is astronomical. And I can't wait to see, and again, it sounds like I'm backing the Eagles here and that I'm an Eagles fan, and I am not by any means. But we've seen consistently, and I did think the Giants were going to win. I had a chance. I really thought they had a legitimate chance to win. But then the excuses after was like, oh, well, the Giants were never supposed to win that game. That's not true. I thought they were supposed to win. The Giants were just not that good. Well, they were good enough to get there. So number two was, we go into 49ers, best defense in the league. They're not going to. The Eagles' offense is not going to beat that best defense. Then what happens after that? Oh well, we don't have after they get crushed. We don't have an offense. Oh, we don't have a quarterback. Oh, we don't have this. Oh, we don't have that. You still got there. And what were you saying at the beginning of the game before it even started? Best defense in the league. So I don't want to hear it at this point for the third straight time in a row. If the Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't want to hear this bullshit from media, from Kansas City fans, from everybody. I don't want to hear the same bullshit of, Patrick Mahomes, the GOAT, the young GOAT, was not 100%. His ankle wasn't 100%. I don't want to hear that. If they lose, they lose. At that point, you just got to give the Eagles credit because they won the fucking game.
They literally won't mention that Jalen Hurts' shoulder's broken.
They won't.
I won't talk about it either. It should be common knowledge, but it's just they won't talk about it.
But if you want to play the factor for the other two games, fine. I'm pissed off about it, but I'll let you do it. But you can't do it now in the last game of the season, and then when they're Super Bowl champs, you can't even make more excuses because there's none to make. They won the Super Bowl. That's number one. Number two, and that's the pass rush there. Number two is with Travis Kelce, I think the weakest point of the Eagles defense is the linebacker position. And Travis Kelce,
great weakness too.
It is. But he's not going to be doing those go routes where, James Bradbury and Darius Slay are going to have to pick that up. He's going to have to beat him on the dink and dunk, find something underneath, and then catch and run. Get yards after the catch. Get the yak. That's what Travis Kelce is going to have to do. But this is exactly why I wanted to see the Bengals in this game. Because I wanted to see in my opinion, a better, more complete offense.
You don't fuck with Joe Burrow enough to want to see him versus the Eagles, bro. He would have died.
Bro,
you see how many times he got sacked versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes. But
you think he would have? You see what we did to Brock Purdy in 8 minutes?
But here's the point.
Brock Purdy almost had his arm taken off in 8 minutes, bro. I don't know.
Which was ugly. But
I don't know if Joe Burrow would have made out that game alive.
My point is, I want to see a more complete offense take on and put a absolute put the Eagles defense on their heels. I would much rather see a Joe Mixon. I would like to see a Joe Mixon, a T. Higgins, a Tyler Boyd, a Joe Burrow, and a Jamar Chase versus a Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, 7th round Isaiah Pacheco, Juju fucking Smith-Schuster, and Kadarius Toney. We know now.
That's literally what I thought too until that game started and Joe Burrow got sacked 6 times. I was like, oh wow, we got to play the Chiefs or it's gonna get bad. Joe might get hurt.
You're saying Patrick Mahomes is gonna have this lights out game. I do agree with that slightly, but my point is I think for the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game, it's the goddamn script like it has been since the entirety of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. It's going to be Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce is going to have to do it. And everybody fucking knows it.
Travis is lockable. I think Travis is
Like
lockable.
everybody knows it. So we're, once again, we're gonna say we're gonna see this Travis Kelce dink and dunk again.
That's what I'm saying. That's what. No, I was saying. That's why I was specifically saying that it's not going to be Travis Kelce 15 for 150. It's not going to be Juju 110. It's not going to be Pacheco for 150. I don't think one person can beat this Eagles defense besides the quarterback just making unbelievable plays and getting everyone involved. I think this. Especially this Eagles pass defense specifically, if anything, is good enough by far to, I think, not let one receiver specifically absolutely scorch them for the game. I think Pat Mahomes is going to have to he's going to have to scramble a good bit more. He's going to have to find every single target. It's going to take Andy Reid trickery. Like, we might see some flea flickers early. We might see some throwbacks early. Like, they might Philly back on us. Like, I think it's going to take some shit like how Nick Foles did it. I think, not saying Pat Mahomes is Nick Foles, but he's going to have to be on some shit like that where we leave. Or remember the game versus the Bucs where no one caught the ball? Everyone's going to have to catch the ball. So he's going to have to be dumping on the side, literally parallel to the ground, throwing the ball, running around, spinning in circles, people on him, finding people in the end zone, bouncing off their helmet, but they catch it. That's what's going to have to take this time, I think, to beat the Eagles, in my personal opinion.
And we're saying, we're seeing and we're saying each team coming in with a different game plan to beat the Eagles, right? For the Giants, it was Saquon has to get going early. We have to establish the run.
Brain damage.
Right? In this, and you can't say that for Christian McCaffrey because he's not that. I don't think he was going to be able to get a run out there. They had more receivers. Like for the Giants, it was obviously we have to go to Saquon Barkley because we don't really have the receivers. In this sense, you're not really looking to do that with Christian McCaffrey because you have some other guys you can throw to. That wasn't the 49ers kind of plan. It was use the defense to stop it, right? So we have Giants, we have established a run. It's 49ers, let's leverage our best defense in the league and try to put some more pressure on Jalen Hurts. In this instance, for the Chiefs, their game plan has to be, number one, we have to score first and put some pressure on it.
Number 15, period.
Like, that's true. We have to score first, but also, in this instance, it's a little bit on the defense mainly, but we have to force Jalen Hurts to beat us through the air. There has to be no run game. And you can't eliminate the entirety of the run game for the Eagles, because that's not possible.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
Right, but that's not possible to eliminate the entirety of the run game. So, pick one. Are you going to stop the entirety of the run game by your running backs? Or can you at least limit Jalen Hurts to not scrambling out of those 3rd and 6s, those 3rd and 8s, and make him have to stay in the pocket and beat you through the air? That's like, it's very simple when it's put like that. Because we've been seeing time and time again, the run game. It's not just Jalen Hurts. It's Boston Scott. It's Miles Sanders. We're figuring this out.
There is a lot of fucking playmakers. That's why my guy Kyle, we talked about the playmakers on the last round, why I said the Eagles were going to beat the 49ers. They have more playmakers. That's why I also believe going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs just have more playmakers. So you can stop the run in the first half, and you can think you can put 8 and 9 in the box to stop the run. We still have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, so you can't do that for that long. Because if you leave your corners on this outside one-on-one, oh my God, you have to panic. Now we have to leave. Now we have to go 7 in the box, maybe even 6 in the box to stop the pass because they have A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith. Miles Sanders can catch the ball. Ken Gable can catch the ball. So now we're unloading the box. Now they have Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders again. It's such a problem. Like I don't know, man. I think we're gonna be able to get off. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's coming. What do the English people say when they're about to win the World Cup? It's coming home. I think it's coming home, brother. I'm really trying to rationalize the way we lose this game. I think either Jalen Hurts lays an egg or Pat Mahomes just absolutely just whoa. It's going to be that game versus the Eagles in 2023 is when Pat Mahomes, we knew he was going to be one of those.
And again, we're going to see the what is it? The tail oldest this time or whatever, however you say that. Who turns the ball over less, right? Because we have seen throughout the course of the season, the Eagles don't lose games because they don't turn the ball over. They had sloppy turnovers in the Washington game. They realistically wouldn't have lost that because Quez had the fumble. Who knows if they would have scored the touchdown there?
It is what it is.
Who knows?
Can't turn the ball over.
But can't turn the ball over, number one. Number two, I sincerely think that this has to be a Travis Kelce game. I'm betting him for 2 touchdowns. I'm betting him for over 100 yards.
I have to be.
Who else? Who else? It's not fucking Juju. So I got Travis Kelce for 2 at plus 460. I'm also taking, this is the fucking third straight game I'm doing it. A.J. Brown as well, touchdown. Because why don't we use our biggest guy over the top, Jalen?
I don't know.
A.J. Brown getting in the end zone. Travis Kelce for 2. Our over-under's 50.5, and that will be going over. I don't give a fuck about the stats. I was gonna say, well, in years past, there's been this many overs and this many unders. The Super Bowl's normally an under, or the Super Bowl's this. I don't give a fuck. These two offenses, we're gonna see an over. We're gonna see over 50.5. We're gonna see 51. Whatever. We're hitting the over on that. Money line's minus 122 for the Eagles, plus 104 for the Chiefs. Spread doesn't mean shit to me. I think
people think the Chiefs are about to win this football game.
I think before we get to game picks here, and I want final scores as well. I think
I don't know. Go ahead.
I got my fucking
Bears
thing here.
by 1 million.
The winner of this game is going to win by well over 1.5 points. By the way,
Well,
I think the max you put it.
now well could be 3. It's like no.
Can I say this though? I said it wasn't going to be a blowout against the Giants. I said I don't want it to be a blowout. That's all I said. I want it to be a close game. For the 49ers game, I said we're not going to see a blowout. This time we're not. Wrong again. So can I finally be right on this one? Can it not be a fucking blowout? And can we actually be able to enjoy a game at its entirety? I'm not saying I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just saying I don't want to be in the fourth quarter and this game be fucking 21 points down.
I think this game has potential on one end to get ugly. I think the Eagles can make it ugly. I think if the Eagles are winning, they have the potential to make it ugly. I don't think the Chiefs have as much potential to make it ugly because we have the playmakers to be able to make it up. But, I mean, if we're just up 14 again and we can just send the dogs at Pat Mahomes and he takes a hit early and he falls on an ankle or something, he's not 100%. Because you got to think it's a high ankle. Like, it doesn't take a lot to re-aggravate something like that, especially if you've only taken 2 weeks off and last time you only taken a week off. Like, he didn't even look that 100%. I mean, obviously, it wasn't that far removed. Gets another extra week this time, but never know. Falls in the wrong way, takes it, like, even steps on it wrong. Those are one of the ankles are weird, man. Like, you land flat on your foot and you kind of like, tweak it. Like, the rest of the game, you're kind of limping. Like, I have no faith. It's going to take one of those games where he just leaves us absolutely just astonished. That's what I think, man. I got Birds by 1 million, 31-20 Birds.
Wow, 31-20. I'm on the same point structure there as well. I've been battling with this one for so long. I've given the Eagles the credit as much as I have, as I could, as well as the furthest person from an Eagles fan. As I'm building this suspense without fucking saying it, just get to the point. I got to do it, dude. I got to do it. 31-24, Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Based on this, okay? 2 factors. Everybody shut the fuck up. Based on 2 factors. Number 1.
No one really cares. It's not going to happen.
Chiefs score first. Patrick Mahomes Chiefs score first. Patrick Mahomes has 3 touchdowns. And most importantly, Travis Kelce has over 100 yards. Chiefs don't score first. Game's fucking over before it even started. Okay? Simple as that. 31-24, Kansas City Chiefs.
There's got to be some more nuance there now.
Chiefs have to score first. It's it. So I'm excited to see this one. Super Bowl MVP as well. I think it's crazy, by the way. Last thing before we get the hell out of here. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts both tied here at plus 130 for MVP. And then the next one that they give is Travis Kelce at plus 1,600. The max bet for that, at least that I saw for me, that was allowing, I'm not betting that, I just wanted to see what the max that they would give, was 625. That would pay 10,000. So FanDuel's just willing to only lose 10,000 on that? Really?
That's fucked. I'd bet it.
Like,
I think that's, I mean, that kind of makes it an auto bet if you ask me.
So, and then in this instance, so let's say Travis Kelce goes for 100 yards, 125 yards.
He can get MVP.
And 2 touchdowns.
He can get MVP.
People are saying,
that's what I said 2 weeks ago, if you remember.
And people said to me, they're like, well, if then that means Patrick Mahomes has to have well over, 300 yards and probably 3 or 4 touchdowns, so then he gets it. I'm like, what? But wouldn't Travis be the more bigger factor there?
There's always, people be forgetting there's nuance in like professional sports. Like Pat Mahomes could fumble, throw 2 picks, and the game has to go back and forth, and he might end up with like 250 and like 2 tuds and 2 picks, and like Travis has both those tuds and like 150 yards. Who was,
like that.
Something could happen. You never know. Something could happen.
Now and again, everyone will say, "Well, if you're
They do want to give it to the quarterback, though. They do want to give it to the quarterback
for
100%.
sure."
But there is 100% nuance, and that's why I literally said 2 weeks ago, both the tight ends, George Kittle and Travis Kelce, were extremely valuable to take at Super Bowl MVP. If you guys don't remember, because someone did comment and said, "Where are the gems you guys on this podcast that you guys are talking about?" Well, you got 2 last week, and if you did listen, you would have won Giants. You would have won Birds -7. All you would have won, and we'll see.
Yeah, we slammed Giants money line. You had the alt line at -7 when the line was 2.5 for the Eagles.
I would have just been listening
on the 49ers.
George Kittle and Travis Kelce Super Bowl MVP before the championship games.
And then people are going to sit there and say, well, you know, the Chiefs still have to win the game for that to happen. But okay, you're asking
I'm just saying that was a valuable ticket. I'm just saying it was a good look.
I mean, you have a jump from +130 for both quarterbacks, and then your next valuable person here is +1,600. You asking people to take that. And is that a trap? Probably.
I think it's just worth the investment.
It's 110%
fuck the Chiefs
worth
and
the investment.
Fuck Travis Kelce for now, but I think it's worth the investment.
Those are our picks for the big game, the Super Bowl between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Manny has 31-20 Philadelphia Eagles. I have the Kansas City Chiefs 31-24. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the program. Thanks, Pat McAfee. If you are not already following us on our social media platforms, you are doing the wrong thing. At 8080 Podcast on Twitter, at 8080 Pod on Instagram, the TikTok. This is just the name of the show, the All Day Everyday Show. You've been listening to the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the man in red, not for Chiefs, Manny Ruffin. We hope you enjoy your Super Bowl weekend with your friends and family. Have a great one. We'll see you after the big game. Let's go.